Anyway, doing another section of my preparation class and listening to these dudes back about if you was in the South and East or West Coast, you wouldn't be doing that because I'm in red and blue right now. I'm not responding with, oh, we already stayed in both those states, all three areas, and people know. One of me is more enough to, hold your breath. But anyway, this video is about rum. Don't quote me on it because I was making my notes during classes and I have not read through my notes to making better notes for the class. Yeah, fun stuff. Disclaimer: legality. Every state has its own rules and laws. Alaska, you don't need distiller permit to own personally, whether you're distilling on water or not. Texas, you don't need a distiller permit, water or not. I think I said this before. I was making alcohol since I was like a child, so yeah. Certain states you do require a permit just to own a distill. That's just to own it for distilling water or herbal medicine, all that other stuff. And then there's federal permit to distill alcohol. Now, federal permit otherwise state that you can distill alcohol without a permit for personal uses based on the state. If the state allow you to own a distill without a permit or with a permit, and you own a distill, you can distill alcohol. Under a certain amount of percentage of proof, under a certain amount of a month, which I'm going to the site right now. Under my certain amount of usage, etc., month per month within the per year. And the main reason why people are taxed, main reason why, well, let's go way back to 1968 or 1868 or 1768, whatever that, around 1768, it was stated that you cannot make your own alcohol anymore. And there was a huge war, a little war going on with that. And like, they lost it. And around 1860 something, they made it where you can make your own alcohol. Then they stopped it again. Then 1968, they said you can again. Then around 1970 that you can make it, then around 2000 you can't, and then around 2002 you can, then 2010 you can, and then 2011 you can. Where it states that the reason for this was untaxable, which they could have fixed that just by taxing it, but whatever. And then now the excuse is that it weakens the economy reliance on petroleum fuel due to the fact that we lack petroleum fuel. Why it's so expensive? So if it's so lacking, then why not promote personal home fuel or alcohol fuel and stuff like that, or alternate source of fuel? Because don't mind me. I'll stick there arguing with the guy all day. Said it was stupid, but don't care. It doesn't really matter to me. It's more of y'all thing. You all gonna catch this middle finger one way or another. Um, so to distill at home, it had to be based on state laws first. Do you need a distill permit? Yes or no? No? Okay, you can get a distill. Trying to distill everything else? Good. Distill alcohol? Oh man. Distill alcohol is more percentage proof under a certain amount within a month period given for certain uses to kids or stuff like that. You need a permit for that. And your premises have to be certain size within certain years, blah blah blah. Go to TTB, which is trading tobacco, alcohol, ITF, ammunition, no alcohol, tobacco, firearms, which I still need to apply for myself. Yeah. So anyway, disclaimer alert: breach of state laws. North Dakota don't require a distill permit to distill anything, but Even for alcohol, they lost it on alcohol. You go by TTB standards and TT Bank standards to have their own profile. Um, the components of rum are sugar, L, sucrose, not fructose or glucose. Don't get those different. Fructose, fruit, glucose, artificial sugar, and fruit. Sucrose, high malt pure sugar, that's molasses, pretty much sugar cane, beets, stuff like that. Sucrose. Invert sugar, which is a crystallization of sugar. Organic material, glutamic acid, polycarbonatic acid. I already made polywriting carboxylic acid before. It's not that difficult. Make yourself a biopolysis, whatever, buy something. Nitrogen organic acids like not citric acid, well citric acid, but it's not full citric acid. Pectin, inorganic material, potassium oxide, sodium oxide, calcium oxide, magnesium oxide, sulfur oxide, and phosphorus pentoxide. Those are the components of rum. Uh, I'm going to put a list down at the bottom, but before you start making disclaimer, like I said, have the distill permit. And also, you can't drink it for personal usage, even if you did have distill permit. You have to have someone else to make it under their name, and then you can drink it legally, of course. But they have to have distill permit, and you have to be within the consent of adults. Main sugar choices are sugar cane molasses, blackstrap molasses, beets molasses, cocoa molasses, stuff like that. It's 160 proof, and the boiling is 25 hours, and it has to have a pH of 4.5 to 4.9. I mean, it's acid, not close to being neutral. Acid, because neutral is like 7. And the legality behind it. It's hard to show a practical example because I'm making vodka right now, but it's not distill vodka. It's fermented vodka because I have like distill federal permit, federalized, not state right. It's not. I can do a state. They can't say anything about it, but you know, whatever. Um, my last test is not that different. It's crystallized sugar, or it's sugar that has been processed to sugar that's been processed to molasses and certain things that you can mix it with. Anyway, that's this video for this day, for this month.